People keep buying these stocks, not knowing how overpriced they are. Some must perform perfectly just to match the market's average return. So, what stocks are they, and can they really live up to the hype? The first stock is one of the most popular amongst investors, Nvidia. Right now, Nvidia is priced for perfection. Its price earnings and price to free cash flow ratios suggest the company would need to achieve a staggering 742% growth in earnings per share over the next 10 years, equivalent to 27% annual growth, and a 165% increase in free cash flow per share, or about 10% annually, just to deliver a 10% return. That's a tough challenge even for a company like Nvidia. However, Nvidia has made some big announcements recently, including new GPUs and AI chips, and there's been a recovery in demand for AI products in automotive and PC markets. These factors could help the stock meet these high expectations. But even with this potential, meeting the ambitious growth analysts are projecting, requiring thousands of percentage points in gains, would be extremely difficult. According to my discounted cash flow model for Nvidia, to justify its current valuation, it would need to deliver a 35% annual free cash flow growth over the next 10 years with a 25% margin of safety. In short, Nvidia is truly priced for perfection. The next stock is Palantir, another very popular choice among investors. But is it fairly valued? Palantir is a data analytics company specializing in software solutions for governments and commercial clients. Right now, the stock has a trailing 12-month price earnings ratio of around 369 and a price to free cash flow ratio of 167. These are extremely high valuations, meaning the company will need to grow earnings per share by 32% annually and free cash flow per share by 25% annually just to deliver a 10% return, matching the market's average. That kind of growth is possible, but far from guaranteed. On the growth side, Palantir is heavily focused on AI. The adoption of its AI driven analytics tools by private companies is growing, with strong potential in industries like healthcare, finance, and manufacturing. Additionally, Palantir has room to expand internationally, with opportunities in Europe, Asia, and emerging markets as governments and businesses increasingly rely on data driven decision making. However, there are significant risks. Palantir faces tough competition from major tech companies like Google and Microsoft, which could make it hard to sustain growth. There is also uncertainty about how much demand for its products will grow in the long term, particularly as it scales into new markets. Considering these factors, I believe Palantir is very expensive at its current price, even with its growth potential. The next stock is AMD, another popular chip maker that's been gaining a lot of attention lately. Like Nvidia, AMD makes graphics cards and is also tapping into the AI market. However, AMD's valuations are even higher than Nvidia's, which is concerning since I believe Nvidia is a stronger business. AMD currently has a PE ratio of 104 and a price to free cash flow ratio of 121, meaning the company would need to grow earnings per share by 21% annually and free cash flow per share by 23% just to match a 10% return. Similar to the market's average, while this growth is possible, it's still a big challenge. On the positive side, AMD has seen success in creating custom chips for PlayStation and Xbox, showing potential for expanding into other industries like automotive, consumer electronics, and cloud services. Additionally, AMD's GPU and AI chips are being increasingly adopted for training AI models and running machine learning workloads. As AI adoption grows, AMD could compete with NVIDIA by offering better prices and improved performance. Though there are risks to consider, AMD faces intense competition from NVIDIA and Intel, both of which have a significant amount of resources to spend and are constantly adapting to stay ahead. This puts pressure on AMD's market's position and reduces its competitive edge. Additionally, the future of AI is still uncertain, and changes in the market could pose a challenge for AMD. Given these factors, while AMD has growth potential, it also faces significant risks that investors should keep in mind. The next stock is Tesla, a company that's incredibly popular right now, especially with the growing numbers of people driving Teslas and the CEO Elon Musk. So, why is this stock overvalued? Well, Tesla's valuations are extremely high, and there's a lot of speculation surrounding it. The company currently has a PE ratio of 110 and a price to free cash flow ratio of 350, which are very high numbers. This means Tesla would need to grow its earnings per share by 23% annually and free cash flow per share by 30% annually just to deliver the same 10% return the market typically provides. These are very ambitious targets. So, can Tesla realistically achieve them? Well, one of the main reasons investors are excited about Tesla is its push for self driving technology and its plans to build a network of robo taxis. The company is trying to be the first to create cars that can drive on their own. However, self driving cars still need to be approved in many parts of the world, and even if Tesla succeeds, there will likely be strict rules and safety concerns. Personally, I think that the requirements, like keeping your hands on the steering wheel, may stay in place, as there are many risks involved when it comes to relying entirely on technology. Another challenge Tesla faces is competition. More companies are producing electric vehicles and catching up quickly, offering similar cars at competitive prices. Additionally, other automakers are also developing their own self driving systems. So while Tesla may be leading now, it's not guaranteed they maintain that position in the future. Considering all these factors, while Tesla has potential, its high valuations make it a risky investment at its current price. Now, the last stock is Microsoft. It's a solid business with a strong competitive edge, but it's also trading at a very high valuation. While it's not as extreme as some of the other stocks we looked at, it still has a PE ratio of 32 and a price to free cash flow ratio of 42, which seems pricey. These numbers means the company will need to grow its earnings per share by 14% annually and free cash flow per share by 16.4% just to deliver a return similar to the market's average of 10%. Given Microsoft's size, hitting these growth targets could be tough. That said, the company is seeing strong growth in its cloud business, which could significantly boost earnings. Additionally, Microsoft is investing heavily in AI, including its partnership with OpenAI, positioning the company well in this rapidly growing field. Microsoft products like Teams, Dynamics 365, and its security services are also in high demand, bringing in large amounts of revenue. The company does face tough competition from major players like Amazon, Google, and Sony, which could put pressure on its market share and weaken its edge. As long term investors, we want companies that can hold their ground in the market. That said, Microsoft's strong brand name does give it a buffer. Overall, while Microsoft is a top tier business, its current price feels a bit high. The company's future prospects are solid, but at this valuation, there are risks to consider. As we can see, many of the most popular stocks in the market today are significantly overvalued. This shows that value doesn't always match price, and short term investing is more like a voting machine, while in the long run, is more like a weighing machine. That said, there are still some companies like Microsoft that I consider buying if the prices becomes more reasonable, as it is a high quality business. Thank you so much for watching. Now, if you want a deeper dive into Nvidia and maybe find out why it's overvalued and what a fair price for the company would be, check out this video where I cover everything you need to know.